really grasp this concept, it may help you to think about cause and effect a little bit differently. So cause and effect, energy and matter, action and reaction are the same. And see, this law of reversibility is important because it helps you to see the order of everything that's going on around you. If you knew how you would feel if you had everything that your heart desired, then you would know what state you need to be in to awaken in yourself such the feeling. Let's think about prayer. Mark chapter 11 verse 24 says, "Therefore I say unto you, whatever things that you desire, when you pray, believe that you have received them, and you will have them." If your realized prayer produces in you a definite feeling or a state of consciousness, then in reverse, that particular feeling or state of consciousness must produce your realized prayer. Everything is reversible. You should always assume the feeling that you already have so that it can create and cause the effects that you want. This law explains why faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, and why he called it things that are not seen as though they were, and things were not seen become seen. So, if a physical fact can produce a certain feeling inside you,
I got to go to Rolling
then
Loud.
that certain feeling that you have inside you can in return produce a physical fact. It's all reversible.
Not tonight, this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Let's get that.
Let's say you have a thought that has some negativity in it. You can feel the resistance of it. Can you feel how, if there is some resistance, that meditation, which can allow no thought and therefore no vibration, is an improvement? And can you feel that from a place of no resistance, that you could get to that daydreaming more easily? Yeah. And you certainly come into your physical body intending to have more experience. You just didn't come to clean things up, which is sort of what most people think about with karma. You came for the joy of creating, which don't you just really love and have to acknowledge right now that what you're talking about is where we started, which is the difference between the focus will, which is cleaning stuff up, and just letting yourself be. You didn't come to fix a broken world, and you didn't come to fix a broken you. You came as this perfect, non-resistant being to evolve into more. So there is some sort of karma-like commentary there, but most people are looking at karma in a way that is really not what you intended when you came. Cause and effect. I offer a vibration and it brings me something like it. Cause and effect.
Yes.
Everything's based upon the law of attraction. There's not anything that is outside of that. It's a vibrational universe, and the law of attraction is managing the vibrations, responding to the vibrations and amplifying the vibrations and showing the effect of the vibrations. It's a really wonderful thing when you offer a vibration, cause, you feel an emotion, effect. Let the emotion be the effect before it becomes a manifestation that is so observable that you can't change it. That's getting out ahead of it. Every manifestation, every cause and effect is instantaneous. But you have to be willing to look with a little more sensitivity in order to realize that there is an effect that is instantaneous. Because when you offer a vibration, things move in response to that vibration. Right. And if you're not sensitive to vibration, you might not notice it. So if you continue it and you're still not sensitive to vibration, you might not notice it. So this is the subject that we love so much, of turning thoughts to things.
You gotta vibe in.
But if in the vibrational phase you're oblivious, then you might be turning thoughts to things that you might not want. And you don't realize it till it got big enough that you can observe it. And then you have a whole different conversation about cause and effect. Because hardly anybody wants to say, I created that thing I do not want. So then you make stuff up. It happened to me. It was asserted in my experience. It was not my fault. It was somebody else's fault. And then you get really, really, really clever. I must have done something bad in a past life. And there isn't any of that. It's just this cause and effect. When you got here, here's how it is. You came into this physical body as pure positive energy. And the non-physical part of you, the non-physical part of you, eager about your exploration of life. And you said, I'll explore all of the contrast. And from it, I will specify my personal important intentions. And your inner being said, and every time you do that, we'll bookmark it. Every time you do it, we'll become it. We'll be it. We'll hold the frequency of it. So your evolution and expansion will be ours. But the difference between us, your inner being said, and you, is that we will hold the current vibration while you're probably going to hold the current reality. And eventually, if you care about how you feel, you'll lean more and more in the direction of your own expansion. In fact, your inner being reminded you right before you plopped in here, when you feel satisfaction, you're keeping up with you. When you feel less than satisfaction, you aren't. It's all okay. Nothing wrong with contrast causing you to want something and not going there. So more contrast causes you to really want it and you still don't go. No problem. More contrast causes you to really, 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 really want it. You still don't go. But sometimes, without you even knowing, you live enough contrast that your desire becomes dominant. And then you move without even knowing how it happened.
Right.
We want you to know how it happened, so you can do it again on purpose.
Don't do that.
These are the steps in the creative process. Step 1 is ask. Contrast causes you to do that. Step 2 is you launch this rocket. That's step 1. And your inner being becomes a vibrational equivalent to the rocket. So that's step 2. When you ask, it is given. Step 3, before you can experience the manifestational effect of what has already been given, you have to find vibrational equivalency with your desire, which means you can't focus upon the absence of what you want and be a match to what you want. So step 3 is you got to be thinking about what you want so that you can let what you want in. That's step 3.
Energy makes vibration.
Step 4 is getting really good at that. Mastery of step 3 is what step 4 is. Might seem strange that step 4 would just be really good at step 3, but step 5 is you step back into contrast, but you're not mad at yourself because you now understand the glorious, delicious, and important reason for contrast.
More people are going to make more money in the next few years than have been made in all of human history. In the year 1900, there were 5,000 millionaires in America. In the year 2000, there were 5 million millionaires. That's an increase of 1,000 times. Now, there was a leveling off in 2001, 2002. In the last 2 years, the number of millionaires has jumped 33%. It's jumped to 8.2 million millionaires in America, and virtually all of them are self-made, which means they started without a pot to you know what in or a window to throw it out of. And they've made it in one generation. When we look at the wealthiest people in America today, Warren Buffett, Michael Dell, of course, Bill Gates, Paul Allen, and the Walton family, all first-generation multi-billionaires. We have a $12 trillion economy today that is growing at the rate of $500 to $600 billion a year, and all that money is going through somebody's fingers, and your job is to make sure it goes through yours and some of it sticks. Is that a good goal for today? And my job is to show you how to do it. The good news is that all the answers have been found. Self-made millionaires have been studied exhaustively. They've been analyzed. They've been interviewed by the hundreds of thousands and millions. And what we know is exactly who they are and what they do and how they think and how they tick and the decisions they make and the things that they do and they don't do. And the wonderful thing is this: if you do what other successful people do, you eventually get the same result that they do. Now, some people say, well, I started off without any money and I don't have any money now. Well, join the crowd. Nobody's got any money. Most people are broke up into their 40s and 50s. So if you're broke today, you're just one of the gang. The only question is, do you stay there? And the answer is no. Now, when I started off in this many years ago, I came from very poor beginnings. I did not graduate from high school. I finished in the half of the class that makes the top half possible. When I left school, I dropped out of high school.